mentally disordered. How many more be slaughtered? I don't think y'all understand. They said it's cause medical records so accessible. Obamacare and HIPAA compliant. Is it part of the plan? So higher incorporated.
News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady Lane. Y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop to actually support the movement as we continue to support y'all, giving y'all this actual factuals. Also check out the graduationparty.org if you or a loved one need mathematics tutoring. I just dropped a new hit single today, God's Favorite. You know what I'm saying? And you can also check out my album, Still I Grind, which is streaming across all digital platforms, but it's also on blackfoxnews.com/music. Name your price for the download. Now moving on into the news. Over in Libya, a lot of devastation caused by Medicaid, apparently a cyclone along the Mediterranean Sea with like hurricane-like qualities that's typically referred to as a Medicaid. Actually, I came through called Storm Daniel, and it hit the coastal city of Derna in Libya, and people off the rip earlier this week knew it had took away thousands of people. What happened was, according to the meteorological organization in Libya, they said that 16 inches of rain came down from this Medicaid, this Mediterranean cyclone hurricane, referred to as Storm Daniel. We'll go with that from here on out. But Storm Daniel came through, left 16 inches of rain in just 24 hours, completely wiped away neighborhoods, whole neighborhoods. So people knew off the rip thousands were gone. Well, it's been just verified that so far 10,000 people have been noted to be deceased. It's still 11,000 people that are said to be missing. So it's a real serious, devastating situation out there in Libya. Now, according to the United Nations, the World Meteorological Organization, they're saying that this crisis could have been thwarted if the country itself had a meteorological organization set up for evacuations. Now, apparently it said that the government officials did not warn the people about the storm and that they need to evacuate. So, of course, there's thousands of lives that are gone because there was no sort of a heads up. Then you also have the infrastructure in itself. Now, these were two dams that were said to have just completely been, bursted, and that caused the flooding throughout the city or whatever, giving Hurricane Katrina vibes, but with body counts way higher. Like, this is a very serious situation where the dams that had burst, it said that they hadn't been maintenance since 2002. So that's 20 plus years of maintenance, and it's not necessarily tied to the assassination of Muammar Gaddafi, the former ruler of Libya, who was killed by basically an uprising that was supported by the Obama administration in the United States, as well as the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. So even though that happened in 2011, which had to do with destabilizing their Gaddafi's plot to actually come up with a central currency in Africa in order to save the American dollar. You know what I'm saying? And I have to say this out loud. I got this on my head. I know what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? Very, very woke. Like, we're going to keep everything actual factual. But it still wasn't a good infrastructure, even when Muammar Gaddafi was ruling Libya. Now, apparently, these are the infrastructure that's all throughout Libya actually comes from when the Italians actually occupied Libya as a country, and they just stopped doing so about like 100 years ago. But still, the infrastructure that is there is said to be coming from like the 60s and all of that. And in this case, the two dams that burst haven't been maintenance in over 20 years. So very devastating situation. If you got anybody that's of Libyan descent or anyone with family out there, please keep them in your positive thoughts and prayers, especially in the city of Derna. Now, while it did not affect the city of Tripoli, like the capital, it did, and storms regularly do affect cities and states out there, especially on the western, further away from Derna. Like, for example, in Zlitny, just a week ago, there was actually just 6 hours of rain had actually completely drowned the city. you know, again, this is poor infrastructure all throughout the country. And so you have, you know, of course, like the Libyan National Army and, you know, government national corps, you know, that have been like warring over the past years. There being constant civil war and uprisings in Libya. Of course, you got the people making their political statements, but at the end of the day, it's looking really bad. Like the government and the people in charge just did not do their job. The question is, who was in charge? That's what all of the warring is about. But for the situation in Libya, Green Wall and graduation, man.
Yeah.